Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Strengthen English. Today we are going to see how to prepare short stories for MCQ based examination in semester 1. The last video we have seen and we have understood how to prepare the Tempest for MCQ based examination. Today we are going to see the second part, that is short stories. Okay students, now let us proceed. As we think of short stories, it is from Echoes, a collection of ISC short stories. From here only, the two stories have been selected. Students, let us note that IS examination semester 1 in English literature, the council has selected two stories: To Build a Fire by Jack London, The Story of an Hour by Kate Chopin. These two stories have been selected and have been taken for the semester 1 examination. So therefore, from these two stories, we have three questions. Question 3, 4 and 5. Question 3 is of 10 marks. Question 4 is of 10 marks. Question 5 is of 5 marks. So therefore, totally we have 25 marks from this particular section. Okay students, so therefore kindly keep a note of it. There are two stories, there are three questions. Third question is of 10 marks, fourth question is of 10 marks, fifth question is of 5 marks. Totally 25 marks from the, or we can say for the short stories. So here students, section B is of short stories. That's all. That's what I have told in the beginning. Section B is of short stories. So now you can go through the questions, how the questions have been asked. When you take up question number 3, the question number 3 is mixed, a kind of variety of To Build a Fire and The Story of an Hour. The questions were taken from To Build a Fire and Story of an Hour. So therefore, question 3 is of subject matter related questions. We can say contextual questions. So this demands contextual reading. This demands we should have clarity in the subject matter. Okay, so question 3 is of the questions taken from the two stories. Okay, that is of 10 marks. You can go through the question, then you will be able to understand what kind of questions are asked or what kind of questions are going to be asked. As you go through this particular portion, you remember that you need to have keywords. You need to remember the keywords, at times names, maybe the role of the characters. So all those things you need to remember. At times they may ask you the total number of characters in the short story, the story of an hour. So therefore you need to remember how many characters are there, what are their roles. So everything is very important. Now let us come to question 4. Question 4 is extract based question. The extract can be taken from any stories. It can be a small passage from the story. Accordingly, the questions have been prepared, the questions have been asked. So therefore, we need to understand the context of the particular passage or particular extract which is given in the question 4. Accordingly, we need to answer. It is not what we have read accordingly from any corner of the story. We can just prepare an answer. No, not that way. Though it may be a matter of concern, but you remember, you should understand the extract properly, the passage properly. Accordingly, you need to write the questions which are given in the question paper with regard to question number 4. That is of 10 marks. Okay, students, when you go through, you are able to understand what is the setting of the story. So this particular extract comes in what setting? So therefore, you should remember the place, everything. So kindly remember that, make a note of it. You see, in what way did the dog come in useful to the man at one point in the journey? That means every time when you read this particular story, you need to keep a watch on the role of dog in all the situations with regard to man. That is very important, my dear students. You see, what did the dog do while the man had his lunch? So every aspect of the encounter we must remember. You see, they're asking, what is the theme of the story? You see, so therefore, all the details are very important, my dear students. Students, now we have come to the fifth question. Fill in the missing information from the story. We need to fill the missing information from the story. It can be from the story of an hour, it can be from to build a fire. This is very clear to each one of us. So therefore, what is more important? Missing information. So we need to fill the missing information from the story. So therefore, we need to have thorough and clear reading of the text. Okay. You see, for example, you go through the question, you will be able to understand. You cannot write these questions with a kind of guessed mentality. The same time, you understand that every one of us, every one of you can do very well with regard to 4 questions. The fifth question will decide in change of your the highest marks, the best marks which you are going to score. The fifth question will decide. So therefore, you need to prepare thoroughly. Okay, students, you need to prepare thoroughly. The fifth question will be the game changer. You see, at the end of the story, the reader dash. As a reader, what do you understand? Okay, the same time, my dear students, keep a note of it. You got only two stories. Kindly remember the name of the stories. To Build a Fire, written by Jack London, and then The Story of an Hour, written by Kate Chopin. Now it is time for guidance. How to prepare the short stories for the MCQ based examination in semester 1 2021. So here I have prepared, there are certain points to remember while preparing for the examinations. Okay, the first one, as I say, complete reading of short stories. Okay, you should have complete reading of short stories, which I mean to say thorough reading. As you do the reading, you must remember you need to acquire all the information and details in the story, even the minute detail of the story. So therefore, as you read, it is not for sake of reading and completing. No. As you read, you need to understand, and then you need to acquire all the information, all the details from this particular story. Okay. Next one, have clarity in subject matter. Okay, have clarity in subject matter of each scene, the characters and the place. We should have clarity in subject matter of each scene, the characters and the place, very important. And then learn the meaning of the difficult words. learn the meaning of the difficult words. Because for example, if you go through the story to build a fire, lot of difficult words are there. Okay, so this will strengthen your vocabulary. So therefore kindly do that. And then at times you need to learn the origin of the words, from where this particular word comes. What does it mean? Okay, so remember that. And then very important, who said to whom and what. At times you need to remember. For example, if you take the story of an hour, it's very important. The conversation takes place. So very important to understand who said to whom and what. Have distinctive clarity. And then this one I stress upon, my dear students. Identify the relations in the characters with the situations. Okay, for example, if you take the story to build a fire, the dog and the man. So what relation the dog is having with the man? According to the situation, it changes every now and then. The man, along with his relation with the character, maybe the dog, at times the weather, situation. So therefore, very important. So every point of time, how it has been revolving, how it has been evolving, how it has been changing. So all those things you need to keep in mind. Identify the relations and the characters with the situation. This particular point I stress upon very importantly. Next one, learn the keywords. Very important. Learn the keywords. And then kindly do not take it for granted. You should know the name of the story, the name of the author, and then very importantly, life and works of the author. My dear students, only 2 stories only you have. You can very well prepare. And then, yes, you read, you must understand. You should have the mind of the writers. Okay, you should have the mind of the writers. You should be the mind of respective writers. It is one step ahead, I am telling you. Okay, be the mind of respective writers while comprehending the stories. So very important. When you read with this particular perspective and objective, you will be able to learn and you will be able to perform well in the examination. Okay, students. Thank you, dear students. Thank you for attending and listening and then following the guidelines. The same time that you must prepare yourself well. My best wishes for you. Kindly forward this particular video and the channel to every one of your friends, teachers, students, everyone who can really get benefit out of it. Students, are you ready? I'm sure you are ready. You will be ready. It is time for a change. So be the change. My best wishes for you. Prepare well. Constantly strive harder to get the betterment of life. Best wishes and God bless everyone.